Hello guys, welcome to the semi-finals of the GEST June event. It's Mineski versus Myth Trust, the Pinoys versus the Thailand. There has been an age-long rivalry between these two teams. We're going to see it being settled now in a best of 3, Western Digital versus Corsair. Western Digital, Corsair, Dota Talk, as well as Gigabyte for hosting this tournament. So big shout out to those sponsors. And I'm having a little bit of problems bringing in gods right now because Skype decided to crash on me just before
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but my Skype might crash anytime, so hopefully it doesn't crash anytime soon, and if it does, I'll bring it back up and bring it back in. So yeah, Welcome Gods to the broadcast, guys. You've been waiting all afternoon for him. He's got some stuff to do and he's finally here. So yeah, welcome man.
I'm excited to be here. We've had some good matches so far. MUFC playing in the other semi-final, but right now Mineski versus Mythtrust. This is one of the matches that a lot of people have been waiting for, and I'm excited. I haven't cast Mineski in such a long time.
Alright Gods, I think I have to call you back. You're going a little bit robotic. Yeah, my Skype's giving problems right now. So I'll just stop. I'll just shut it down and I'll bring up very fast. Hopefully it doesn't give any more problems, so you be right back.
10 seconds.
That's good.
So guys, as usual, technical problems. Skype doesn't like gods. So yeah, Skype doesn't like gods, and I'm restarting my Skype right now. So hopefully it does come back in time, so gods doesn't miss too much of this drafting phase. They are speeding through this draft. All right, gonna give him a call once again. Hopefully this time no more problems. Come on. All right, let there be sound.
Let there be sound?
Yeah.
How are we sounding now?
Yep, sounding good now, sounding good. Yeah.
Right, fantastic.
Yep, Mineski banning out the Treant Protector. I mean, can't blame them. There's a lot of Treant action nowadays here. And earlier on, you missed MUFC versus the Fallen, or the Feed, or however they like to call it. It was a great series.
Miracle was playing, I heard. How did he do?
Well, he missed out on the first game, where he was actually playing the 3 stand-ins instead of him. So they didn't do too well in that one. They had a good game earlier on. They stopped MUFC's attack, but later on they just fell apart and it became a 30-15 kind of game. So it was kind of one-sided after all.
Did he officially leave first departure, or was he just a stand-in for this team?
No, I think they formed this team just for GEST. So it's like a Singaporean stack with Chibi as well as Miracle. So in game 2 he came in with Chibi. Chibi was in game 1, but Miracle came in game 2, and he played a carry weaver, got an early game ultra kill. Yeah, early game ultra kill, and yeah, Chibi just carried on with the solo mid OD, and he pretty much two-shotted anti-mage towards the end of the game. Double Sanity's Eclipse, and that was a KO. He had a Shiva's Guard, Hex, and Refresher Op, so 2 hits, anti-mage died. Just from that, no auto-attacking, just 2 ultimates, and anti-mage just evaporated, along with the rest of his team. I think Chibi went 19 for 1 in that game, I'm not so sure. But yeah, that guy, he tends to snowball really hard. But in game 3, of course, his Kunkka, Hontrash player, took up the role of Storm Spirit, and yeah, just beat Kunkka middle, killed him 3 times in a row, and yeah, it snowballed from there. It didn't do that game didn't look too good for them, and they just lost. Miracle choosing some rather questionable items on his Spectre, not going for damage, going for more tank instead. So there was no damage output during the team fights, and just got wiped. So yeah, that's pretty much how the game went off. A little bit disappointing in game 3, but game 2 was epic.
Yeah, well, MUFC, as you'd expect, make it to the other semi-final. I mean, they're obviously invited to the international, so should be looking to see them in the grand finals against the winner of this match. But this matchup, I feel, is probably Mythtrust are the slight favourites, but only by a very small margin. Mineski have been getting some good results lately. They have had some slight roster changes. They've been playing with Jesse Vash now. They've had a few players leave the team. Ara's actually rejoined as well. But Mineski, I feel, as always, to me, they're like the strongest team in the Philippines as far as Dota 2 goes. They've been very consistent.
Yeah, fans everywhere. So
yeah, and the most popular.
Yeah.
Even with some of their star players leaving, they're still one of the most popular teams in the Philippines.
But yeah, like I told the stream earlier on, apart from the game this afternoon, I have never casted Mineski before because it's just always with the group stages. I just never happen to cast the group that Mineski is in. I've never casted them before today. I've seen them from time to time, heard of their name of course because they're popular and everything, but I've never casted them before. I've got a little bit of a look as to how they actually run their stuff, and Jay is their hard carry and stuff like that. OR or Jay, they switch around. But
yeah, they're a team who like to switch around the roles quite a bit. They had some more set roles with their old roster back when they also had Joven playing. Joven was one of like the best solo mid players in the Philippines, but he's no longer with, at least not playing at the moment for them, which is sad to see for me. He was one of my favorite Filipino players, but they're still a strong team. Sorry?
Jules?
No, Joven. Well, Jules of course well before them, but Joven, the player from iZone Gigabyte, joined Mineski maybe about 6 months ago. But right now he's not playing with them anymore, so I'm not sure what the latest news is there. But this is still a Mineski team who can put up a fight against Mythtrust. Mythtrust haven't, to me, it's most surprising they haven't picked up like a big carry for Lekels yet. They have a Weaver who could be played by Lekels. He can play it. Would love to go for that Lincoln Sphere build, but maybe we see him play Weaver and they pick up some sort of a solo mid.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, today of all the games I've casted, about a total of... Okay, the first best of 3 went 2-0 Mineski, and the other one was 3 games, it went to 3 games. So, of the 5 games today, I think there were 4 Weaver games.
He's becoming a top pick, and teams are picking him in the first 2 picks very often here. Mythtrust doing it as well, so we'll have to see how they like to play this. I think it's a good hero because it can go into trialing, but it can also solo. It's sort of why Gyrocopter was very popular for a while. He was a good solo as well as a good trialing hero, but Weaver's even better than Gyrocopter as a solo because if he finds himself up against a trialing, he can still survive, whereas Gyrocopter just kind of falls apart there. So he's a really nice hero to have, but. Over on the Mineski side, what do you think of their draft right now? They've got the DK Windrunner as probably their 2 solos. They need some sort of a carry, it looks like.
Well, they might just go for something semi-carry to work with the Dragon Knight. They have a pretty strong lineup now. They have this Crystal Maiden, something I want to talk about later on. But Mineski, they draft the Dragon Knight, they draft the Windrunner, they draft a Visage. They have really good support right now. Like you say, the Dragon Knight will go middle. He can tank up, maybe get a little bit of damage, but he won't be throwing out the damage as hard. The other day we saw a Weaver Dragon Knight combo to tag up together to carry the team, and that was a really fat Weaver. And yeah, I saw MUFC today, they did some kind of mid-game strat where they just went for a Weaver hard carry. Was it?
Yeah,
no,
I really like the Weaver Dragon Knight duo. It's sort of 2 heroes who aren't the best late game carries, but you combine them as like mid-game carries, and it's a very strong combination.
Yeah, I think it was Mineski. They ran only a Weaver as the solo carry, and the rest of them were just support heroes, or what you call ganking off-lane type of heroes. They're not the carry type, and with very systematic team fights, they took their Jonet apart. And the second game, I thought the Jonet were going to win that because of the draft, because Mineski kind of lacked late game. They focused on having a Weaver as a hard carry, and even towards the end, Weaver didn't really have great items. They just had team fight. They won as 5, and 5 heroes tend to take towers, regardless of how not late game orientated you are. So Mineski, they just use, I would say, more experience and skill, and bested Jonet that way. But I don't think they'll be going for a single core this time. It's very dangerous in the current meta game. Even see LGD, they just picked on the other stream, they have 3 cores on their lineup. It's really difficult to just play with 1. You have to be very good, like Burning. You trust in Burning to get that anti-mage up, very farmed. But otherwise, you don't really want to run a single core, especially a Dragon Knight. Not really reliable, especially now there's a Templar on the field. Gotta be cutting through his armor with that Null Strike. So.
It seems the way to play, like you mentioned, having multiple cores. If you pick 2 hard supports, like LGD did, LGD had like a Shadow Demon Jakiro in the other game, which is 2 pure supports. Neither of those supports does a lot of damage. Jakiro can with some nukes, but it's very little. You need the 3 cores, which is what they went for. Teams either normally go for 3 cores, or some teams go for like a dual core, where they have like your Weaver DK, but if they have a dual core, they'll have their 3rd farming hero be something like a Darkseer or a Mag. It's not really a carry, but it's a great teamfight hero. And that's something which maybe Mineski can go for instead here with this last pick if they don't want to if they're happy with just the Dragon Knight Windrunner. But I feel like they need something with a bit more carry potential, especially now. They see Templar Assassin and Weaver. They're going to get a Lone Druid, so
wow, I like this pick up. This guy in a while. This guy he's kind of fallen out of favor, I would say. Would you say that he has fallen out of favor, Lone Druid?
Yes. Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. He seemed to be first pick in most of the Southeast Asian games, and suddenly he just disappeared after the armlet nerf. I mean, he was kind of a good pick back then, but the armlet nerf, even before before Aoi, I think Aoi started the armlet trend, he kind of was picked up already, and that's how he accidentally got into the armlet thing. But before that he was picked up, and then suddenly after the armlet nerf, everyone was like, we don't really want to play him anymore. We're gonna go for something else.
Yeah, it was funny because even before Aoi was going armlet on him, he was still a top pick then. Teams were picking him all the time. If anything, it feels like the armlet nerf shouldn't have affected him too much, but most teams have just been veering away from him. It's an unusual thing, but we'll introduce our 2 teams here. We have got, on the Radiant side, the Filipino hopes, the Pinoys. It's Mineski, or as they are here, AMD Mineski. We've got Jay playing the DK at the mid lane. We're going to have Jesse Vash playing the Lone Druid at top. Then we have your Trialing, which is a Visage being played by G. We've got Crystal Maiden being played by RR. And then finally, on the somewhat of a carry, safe lane farming, semi-carry Windrunner role, it's going to be OA.
Yeah, and On the side of Mythtrust, the Thailand boys, one of the longest enemies of Mineski, I would say.
Yeah.
TNK gonna be playing on the darks here off lane. It's gonna be Lakel's playing the hard carry Weaver. He's gonna carry Steam to victory. Abba on the Templar Assassin, and SD on the Rubik with R5 finishing up the lineup with Sand King. And I'd like to talk about RR's Crystal Maiden. I called him Bianca because that was the more obvious name for me. And like I said, I don't really know about Mineski. Bianca is his girlfriend from what I heard in the chat. So yeah, apparently this guy, he plays Crystal Maiden like a total boss. If you didn't see the other game against Joe Net, his Crystal Maiden landed a couple of double kills, very good freezing fields. He just ran into the fights, or he just slipped into those crooks and crannies and just managing to throw out those freezing fields for nearly the entire duration until everyone was dead. So even if he died, he brought down a lot of people with him.